Not talking unless y'all giving me land and 2,000 or more every week. You hear me?
I'm not talking, okay? I'm not talking unless y'all giving me likes, you're commenting, and you're subscribing. You hear me? Okay. Well, hey, B, we're back to talk about the previous week of Beyond the Gates. Okay, a few things I want to say before we get into this review. All right, just a few things. One, please make sure that you guys are liking up the video, you are sharing the video. That would be very much so appreciated. From me, I enjoy watching it, and I enjoy having the conversations about it. So, make sure that you guys are liking and sharing the video. Also, please forgive me, honey. It's gonna probably listen. I feel like my nose is stuffy. The pollen has been whooping my. Okay, my eyes are watery, child. I'm gonna be having to catch my eyes. Like my allergies are acting up. Okay, pollen is doing a number on me. I'm so glad it's raining today, and I just. Okay, it's giving. You know how you used to say rain, rain, go away? No, ma'am. It's giving pollen, pollen, go away. Come again. Not another day. Just don't come again. Okay, how about that? But anywho, child, we're gonna go ahead and get into it because that's not why y'all are here. All right. So let's go ahead and talk about this week of Beyond the Gates. So this episode, we did not see Derek, we did not see Ashley, and or not this episode, but this week we did not even see Andre. And I have to say, I enjoyed not seeing Derek and Ashley, but I will say the time that they were absent has allowed me to get slightly annoyed with Doug and his wife. And I hate that I can't think of the wife's name at this time. I'm about to look it up on my phone, but the white woman, the one that's sleeping with the other guy, yeah. So I'm getting a tad bit annoyed with them. His stupidity really, really irritates me. Her name is Vanessa. But yeah, I feel like the time that we've been away from Ashley and Derek, I've become more annoyed with Doug and Vanessa. Vanessa is really a horn dog to me, and it's a bit of annoying. I do understand a bit because her husband pretends to be so busy, and we're gonna talk about that. But it's like, girl, it's like every man that comes past, it's like I feel like you get a little wet for them or something, and it's like it's a I feel like it's more than just her not having her man available to her. I think she not interested in that man. Okay, like she probably once was. And I also think that she just been a little horny probably even before him, but who knows? I just wanted to rant about that. I do miss seeing Andre. If I didn't say that already, I like him as an actor, and I his character doesn't bother me aside from when he acts as though he's super interested in Ashley, and I just don't see the connection there at all. And it's crazy because I feel like I saw more connection with your almost cousin Eva than I've seen with you and Dango Ashley, right? And I maybe people feel like it's supposed to be like that because Ashley's not interested in him, but I but still it's not making sense as to why they're even interested in each other. I wouldn't be surprised, you know how with Family Matters, the daughter went upstairs and we never saw her again. I also kind of wouldn't be surprised if we never saw Ashley and Derek again. But I guess we may have to, considering the fact that they're a part of the hospital storyline and she's like the only nurse that we come across, right? But can y'all hire another nurse, right? That probably would give Ashley a run for her money over there at the hospital, maybe as he's getting closer to not the nurse, the messy nurse that be behind the not her, honey, that be behind the little whatever. The desk. All right. I was gonna call her by her real name, Ernestine, but not her, but hire another one, a new nurse that's coming on board by the time we get back. And, maybe Andre is feeling her and they're chatting and stuff. And he's moving on from Ashley. And Ashley may be interested in him now because she sees that his attention and things are on somebody else, potentially. Although I do like the dynamic and the energy, that he gives to Danny. Danny got other SHI that she needs to work out. So, and then they somewhat related, but not really related for real, for real. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that. Anita, we could tell that Anita really misses her career as a singer, and she likes to talk as though she has no regrets or anything. She's completely happy with where life is, and obviously we know that that's not true. The way that she constantly looks at old photos of herself, and she may reminisce from this time to that time, she really misses it. And you know what was interesting, when we saw her talking to Jacob's dad, and she once he left, she called somebody. No, I think when she was talking to him, she mentioned something about them needing, I guess, a musical talent or needing somebody to perform for whatever program she's trying to do. And I would not be surprised if Anita doesn't end up doing that role or whatever it is she's trying to do. I mean, we did see her over there, trying to freestyle rap and vibe out over there with Naomi. So you could tell is she misses that a lot. And hopefully we'll get a chance to see her do that. I don't know what truly caused her to step away from her singing. I don't know if it may have been her marriage, maybe having kids or something. I don't know if it was her parents. I don't know what could have just I don't recall. And maybe they mentioned it, but I don't recall what made her stop. And I do question whether or not she resents her husband. I feel like they put up a united front, like they're so happy and everything is so great. And I just feel like that's fake. What's the real on the Duprees? That's what I want to know. What is the real on the Duprees? Now let's get to Jacob. Jacob, he is a new police officer. Well, it doesn't seem like he's that new to being a police officer, but he's new to a certain division where now he's been partnered up with somebody that's a really good investigator or whatever. And he talks to his dad about this guy. He goes to his dad a lot about his issues. And I do feel like his dad is a person to not be trusted. He's now partnered up with Marcel. And ever since he saw Marcel, watch this guy do an illegal transaction, he didn't get out the car. He didn't try to chase him or anything. He even told Jacob to stand down. So Jacob has an issue with injustice. And I don't fault Jacob for it. But Jacob he could do too much sometimes. I just be like, Jacob, sit your ass. Like he could do too much. And Jacob, you gonna mess yourself up, baby. Okay. So I had to pause for a second, y'all. But getting back into it, I wanted to talk more about Jacob's dad because I feel like Jacob's dad is on a little bit of BS, okay? So Jacob tells his dad everything. I think Jacob is gonna get himself in a world of trouble at some point. He's really, and it's sad because it's those things happen to the good cops, right? For the most part. I do I do think that his dad is more involved than what we may think. So when Jacob had a sit down at one point, first of all, before I even get to that, let's back up, okay? Once Jacob acknowledged and saw how Marcel was moving, he went and had a conversation with his dad. His dad told him, you better be very careful before you put allegations or accusations out there. Like, let's make sure that we got all the details or whatever. Once he went to his dad went to Marcel and said, yo, I don't know what you got going on, but you need to make sure that you're not doing anything to have my son come back and question me. And let me tell you another thing. With everything that you're doing, if anything happened to my son, it's gonna be a whole lot of SHI going on, and you definitely gonna be the one going down for it, and I'm gonna be on your head top. I'm just gonna tell you right now, right? So that's what he's saying. But the way that he gave that somewhat of a threat to Marcel kind of made me think like, it's something about it that makes me think that you're more involved than what we may think or know. And I think that you are a boss in more ways than one. I mean, I could be wrong. I feel like not only are you the chief and you're the boss, but you're aware of Joey's what Joey be out here doing. And it's probably Joey, then you, then somebody on the force. I don't know, but it's Jacob, you're gonna be hurt once you find out and you realize that your dad is one of the big fish. Okay, that's what it is that I'm thinking. And daddy knows a lot about what goes on under his watch because, as I was saying, Jacob went to his dad about the Duprees and what Danny Dupree did at the wedding, how much it bothered him and everything. And the dad pretty much told him, like, when situations like this happen, sometimes you just gotta look the other way, turn the other cheek, act like you ain't seen that, whatever the case was. He was trying to give you a heads up then. Right? Because I believe your dad may be in the pocket of the Duprees. Your dad may be in the pocket of Joey, and ain't no telling who else. Okay. So we'll just have to see how that's gonna play out. But daddy may have a bigger hand in things than what we may know. But we'll see. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts and y'all dynamic about that situation when it comes to Jacob, his partner Marcel, and his dad. And can I also say that Jacob, I think at some point in this show, you're absolutely going to come through, but I have a hard time feeling like you're not an op. I feel like you're an op to your wife. I don't know why. I'll never forget the comment that you said when you were like, Bill, you see yourself in Bill. Okay. When you were talking to her sister, Chelsea, I was trying to look at it like it's just an innocent brother in law sister conversation. But the way any of you guys, like when Eva talks to Ted, some of you, it just be giving flirtation vibes just a little bit versus innocent dad daughter type vibe or whatever the case is, sister-in-law to brother-in-law. It's just weird. But anywho, I don't trust you, Jacob, period. I don't care anything about how you show up on the force to pretend to be, pro good cop or whatever the case is. When you sat across Naomi and you said, I talked to your stepmother, uh, and then you said it with a slight smile on your face. Oh, hell no. Either that's how your face looks all the time. I don't know what. Because I'm like, how she feels about this woman. You know that she does not like her. And then for you to come and say, I talked to your stepmama, don't play like that. Don't say that. Okay. It's like you be doing stuff to get under that lady's skin just a little bit. So I don't know if I don't really trust. Okay, and then when she came, first of all, you arrested her mom. You turned around, oh, the stepmama, but in between both of that, it was something else that you did. Oh, you were aware about the situation with the dad and the whole, for you to be such good cop, and when you see something, you want to go ahead and get things rectified and taken care of. But when you found out about her dad's actions and the man that he has at his law firm that has violated women in some capacity, you didn't want to tell her about that. You didn't want to say anything about that. You was real hush quiet. She said, oh, he said, why do I feel like, what's going on in your mind is those ladies that's about to sue your dad, whatever. She's like, well, how you know about that? He was like, I work in the law, I work for the police office or whatever like that. So I'm aware. Well, then why you ain't say nothing, Mr. Good Cop? You want to be on top of everything else. Why you didn't let her know about that? He's just one to not fully be trusted for me. So just like I feel like his daddy may be in the pocket of, the Duprees as well as Joey, I feel like you just might be in the pocket of Bill. It's something about you. I don't really care. I want to like Jacob, but Jacob, honey, I be side-eyeing you more than I'm rooting for you. And that's an issue. But anywho, Doug and Joey, Doug is irritating so much. I hate how stupid he is. Like, he just irritates me so much. And I guess this is what happens when people have a gambling addiction. Like, they're just irrational or whatever, like, not logical at all. It's so irritating. So I do understand why his wife may think that he is cheating on her, which is probably why she be out here ready to hump on everybody, because she may assume that he's cheating. That's what I was kind of starting to think until they start showing us how it looked like he could have been betting on horses at one point. The man has a gambling addiction, period. Okay. And I just don't like his stupidity. And you know what else I want to say? I feel like this man, when it comes to Doug, we see Doug gambling and being down to the mini casino more than we see him actually working as a doctor in his field. So when are we gonna see him doing his actual job? Just a little bit. But anywho, so Diego, Joey rolls up on old boy's wife, which is Doug's wife, trying to act like he's looking for homes for his mama, but he really trying to get the whole family tied the hell up. And I don't know the history yet. None of us do, as to what, number one, Joey needs. What does Joey need? And number two, why did you seek out these two individuals specifically? So then Diego, he's over there stalking Vanessa. Okay, he said something about you went from robbing the cradle to going to the grave or something. He said to her, but it's like, why are you on her arse like that? Okay, and I'm not even gonna insult, but child, I really want to say, when it comes to the character Vanessa, all I'll say is just interesting. That's what I'll say. If you pick up, honey, leave it in the comments, because I'm just like, y'all couldn't find. Okay, so let's keep going. Naomi, Bill, and Haley. So, y'all know Naomi was approached to sue Bill over the the sexual harassment and stuff, and people being fired, the retaliation and things at the job. And she was a bit nervous. She talked to her grandmother and everything, and she's realizing, like, I have to take this case. Okay, so she decides to take this case against her dad. Her dad wants to mend fences, so while she's over there ready to take this case to get back at him or whatever it is, He's over there wanting to develop a better relationship with his daughter. He's sending her a text talking about I love you, and she's like, "Ooh, too late, honey. It's a little too late for all of that because yeah, I'm about to do this for real. I'm about to sue you." So she goes over to his law office so that she can see his face as he is being served. That man said, "Who has the guts to pull this?" Your daughter. He was shook. He was shook, and Tomas was right there to see it all, child. That is crazy. But that's what they got going on. And Bill knows that his daughter has the case because he is literally sat in the face of this man that he feels is also a creep. And that man clocked Bill one time and told him, "You the last person to sit up there and try and tell me anything." Okay. The very man that sat up there and married one of his workers. Like, stop playing. I know that's right, child. And when I tell y'all, I do not like Haley. Y'all have now. I do feel like they casted the right character when it comes to Haley. I think she does a great job at playing innocent. I feel like we're slowly seeing some of her personality come through the real Haley. Especially when she went over to Danny's house, broke the picture frame, and "Don't try me because you don't want to see what happens when you do." She definitely plotted and schemed on Naomi's whole family so that she could get to Bill. And I feel like she got a history of her own, and I'm ready for her to be somewhat exposed as well. Okay. What else we got going on with them? Oh, it was something interesting. I don't know if it was the writing. At one point, Bill said something earlier in the week about how he sees hope in his relationship with Chelsea getting better, but not Naomi. And then a few episodes later, he's saying that he sees things getting better with him and Naomi, but not Chelsea. And I'm so confused, but I guess whatever. So, I'm because I was like, well, how you see your relationship with Naomi getting better when she's not standing down on suing you? But okay, so Bill does say that Naomi has an issue with him, and I don't know if anybody else caught it, but he was talking to, was it Tomas? I think, or maybe it was Haley. I feel like he was talking to Tomas, but he said that his daughter Naomi has had an issue with him before Haley even came along. And Tomas was like, "Well, what was that?" And he said, "It doesn't matter." Does it not? So why would y'all put it in there if we're not going to learn more? What is the real issue that Haley has with Bill beyond, I'm sorry, not Haley, that Naomi has with Bill beyond him linking up with her friend Haley? That's a mess. So, Bill is acting a bit delusional about this case. He feels like this case isn't going to go anywhere. He's going to give her what she wants, but he also feels like this case is going to bring he and his daughter closer. He feels like his daughter wants to prove something to him. She yeah, ultimately just wants to prove something to him. He thinks that this is her way of acting out to get his attention type thing. And it's like it couldn't be fair. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. So yeah, I think he's underestimating his daughter, but we'll see how that's gonna play out. Haley tries to go and have a conversation once she learns everything and how Bill wants this relationship with his daughter and stuff. Haley has the audacity to go sit down in Naomi's face. And Haley, you're delusional, baby. Trying to go in this girl's face, try to ask her what the hell you think you're doing. Why are you trying to sue your dad? This, that, and the other. And Naomi is just like, "Girl, don't be trying to act stupid. Like, you know what's going on. Like, these are innocent and real people's lives that we're over here dealing with. And you're in that doggone law office every day, all day. So you know exactly what's going on. Like, don't be trying to come in my face and downplay stuff." And she's like, "Well, girl, if you go through with it, we're gonna crush your little farm, and we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that." And I'm like, "Girl, you speaking so strongly to this woman that is an attorney, got her own firm, and you just a little piece of a assistant at the doggone farm. So how you gonna be speaking on Bill's behalf and he trying to work on his relationship with his daughter? You actually making it worse because that man didn't want you going to say nothing to his child, to be honest." Okay, it was just a mess. And then she talking about, "You're calling me a home wrecker, but I can't help that I fell in love with your dad." And Naomi like, bitch, that was a choice. You didn't have to do that. If you see this married man coming on to you and you know that he my daddy, you could have turned him down, but you chose not to. You allowed the situation to happen as well. So Haley is delusional. And the way she started doing that big talk, I was like, "You so disrespectful and out of line." Oh, Haley, you're a mess, honey. You're a mess, girl. I can't. And then now you walking around being insecure because you think Bill is doing to you what he did to Naomi. Your time will come in enough time. And you know what? He may not even be doing anything, but your guilt gonna eat you the hell up. It is. And I do feel like at some point I wouldn't be surprised if Bill, like I said before, Bill and Danny get back in some fashion. He may never marry her again, but they might get back to humping or something. It might be one night of reminiscing. He might be stressed the hell out. It's gonna be something that's gonna happen. Um what else is going on? Yeah, we pretty much got into that. Haley over there, her guilt tearing her up. Let's get to Martin and Smitty. And y'all know I cannot stand Martin. Did I say that before? Martin gets on my, he is so unfair. He is so unreasonable. That's why I love that his grandparents be on his arse. So y'all know he's trying to run for president, and Granddaddy is not having it. Granddaddy called him to come down to the club because they need to talk about things. And he was like, "Oh, I'm busy. I'm trying to work on this tax bill." He said, "Baby, that was not a request, honey. That was a demand. You better get your ass here now. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that you're not going to be running for president." And the grandmama is trying to give him other alternatives of what it is that he could do, but he doesn't want that. And that's what I don't like about Martin. Martin got that big ego. And I feel like that ego is something that led to him potentially clapping or killing the person that he be dreaming about. Okay, probably because of their ego. Ain't no telling. I think he probably got a piece of anger issue that he be trying to like mask or whatever. But I just can't stand Martin. He don't want his husband to work. He really want his husband to stay at home and be a slave to him and them fucking kids that's about to go off to college. Disrespectful. And what I can't stand about you, Smitty, is you don't have enough of a backbone. Now, you did end up overhearing the conversation, and that's when you learned about him trying to go back out there and be a president without talking to you, but want to give you the third degree about wanting to go back and being a reporter, an investigative reporter at that. Okay. So you need more of a backbone, but you tried to get one once he ended up being exposed. I was so glad he was exposed at that restaurant when that dude came over and was like, "Listen, I was trying to offer you an opportunity, but Martin said that you're not really into it. You're not trying to do that. But if you've reconsidered, let me know." Baby, Smitty was pissed. But at the end of the day, I feel like Smitty still gave Martin what it is that he wants. Martin gets on my nerves with his self-centeredness. He's not even in tune with his kids. When his son is being bullied and it's obvious and so clear that he's being bullied and Samantha playing in y'all face, like, it's just you're not in tune, but you want to act like you care. And then towards the end of the conversation, at some point, I think could have been in the final episode, Martin wanted to say something like, it seems like Smitty was giving him a pass to run for president. He was concerned about how things would be with the kids, and then Martin's gonna say we have to just make sure that the kids are gonna be okay and that their mental and this and that is gonna be intact at all times, or whatever it was. And it's like, who is we? Who is this we you speak of that has to make sure that the kids are going to be supported in all ways? Because it seems like it's still falling back on Smitty. And because Smitty doesn't have a backbone enough, it's continuing to be the same situation over and over and over and over and over and over again. But it seems like Smitty may still go on to work in the field of, journalism or whatever, reporting like he wants to. But child, and then this the other part that gets on my nerves. It's the fact that Martin, baby, you barely qualified for the position that you got while you trying to sit up here and run for president. But I guess, child, you ain't got to be qualified for that either these days. But anywho, and I say that because you sitting up here letting your husband write proposals and different stuff or whatever the case. I feel like you got him doing work like he Elon or something. Like, that's what it's giving. Smitty is Elon. You ain't even nowhere. You're not supposed to be connected to this position in any fashion, but you got this man writing these documents and doing this and writing letters and all of that like he your assistant. I can't stand it. Martin gets on my nerves. I'll be glad when his secret is fully exposed. And I think once it comes out, we're gonna see just how grimy he is, because he's gonna go very far so that he can keep the power that he does get. Eva, Cat, and Tomas. Y'all know Cat and Tomas is dating. She's a virgin. He doesn't see anything wrong with it. But I do kind of agree a little bit with Leslie. Sick of Leslie too. But I do think Tomas needs to be watched, because at one point Eva was trying to make moves on him and kind of like flirt, and he wasn't shutting the conversation down. Seemed like he was entertaining it just a little bit. So I mean, we'll have to see what's gonna happen with them. But I don't know if we should trust you, Tomas. Okay. But Leslie is on her like third or fourth damn impersonation. She over there approaching Cat. I think she called herself Anna this time, acting like she's a mother figure to Cat. I'm sorry, to Eva. oh, I'm familiar with her mom, and then you're pressing Eve, you're pressing Cat about Eva, and Cat, you're stupid to stand there and entertain it. But this is a soap opera, so she entertains the lady. Then she pulls out her phone, and the lady could see that she's recording her mother's office. So it's just been a mess because earlier that day, you know, Kat has a weird vibe about Eva, and she's not wrong. And I feel like with Kat, when Kat is determined to find something out, she gonna get it. So Eva, baby, she may not get you with the camera, but she gonna get you. Okay. The question is whether or not your secret is going to come out before she gets you. All right. Um, so yeah, so she goes, she plants like a camera, whatever the case is, and she lures Eva back to the office while she sends her parents away to go to dinner. So in the midst of that, she does catch Eva in the office snooping around. And once she gets there, Eva is still there. Eva's running, baby. Eva was quick. And then Kat so dumb, she laid off, but she didn't know. Her natural instinct when she come in the house is to put her stuff down. Well, Eva sees the phone and deletes the lady's photo, and she like, girl, you thought that you had me, BIT. You ain't got me, but I see how you want to move. So, okay, be ready for the smoke. And I'm like, ugh, Eva, I had this like and dislike for you just a little bit, and now I think I'm gonna really dislike you. I know Kat has been a BITCH to you, but in all honesty, Kat has somewhat of a right a bit to be suspicious about you and not really like you. All right. And now we're about to see the Eva that her mama is. That's what we're about to get, that Eva. And I don't really like that. Okay. And it's gonna be terrible if we find out that these two people are actually related. I really hope they're not sisters. I'm praying they're not. But they just might end up being related. And here's the gag. I feel like even with them being related, I can see Eva still being welcomed with open arms. Kat still may not be featuring her for real, but that motherfucking what's that sister name? Nicole gets on my nerves too. You're starting to irritate me because it's the lack of consideration that you have for Kat sometimes. For Kat to want to invite you and her dad out because she hasn't really had time with y'all, and for you to sit up there and want to invite Eva, I don't like that. And I'm glad Eva turned it down because it's like you just never read the room. You're trying so hard to force this girl on your daughter. And I just think that's so messed up. But when the truth comes out that Eva really is Ted's child, some part of me feels like Nicole's going to act like everything is okay. Like, oh, well, ain't nothing happened. Like, woo wee, it is what it is. That's what I think she's going to do. And she's going to cozy up to Eva and be like, oh, I'm so glad to know that you're an amazing person and you're actually, a daughter in love or whatever the case is, she going to say. But like, Nicole, I can't wait the Cat kind of like snap off on her mama just a little bit. Because I just don't think her mama, although Nicole likes to portray that she's perfect, to me, there are some issues there with that mama and that daughter. There is, and I feel like there's a reason she's not your assistant and you went and got somebody else. Like, it's something about that dynamic, and I just don't like how Nicole treats Kat. But anywho, child, that's what they got going on. Ted does pull up. He does pull up. He catches, what's her name? Anna. This time, what she went from Dana to Sherry to Anna to Leslie. She got all these different personalities, and which I do. She has different names and she has different personalities. Literally, I think that lady is a mental case, which further leaves me to believe that Eva is not even her real daughter. Okay, I feel like she was forced to have that abortion or even miscarry that man's child years ago. She could never get over it. So she went and probably clapped somebody and took their daughter. Like, she's a weirdo to me. Okay. But Ted ends up catching her talking to the daughter, and I'm so glad he hid so he could see the face of the lady she was talking to. Get outside. They're having an exchange. Ted is talking about giving the lady $50,000 to make her go away. Like, are you okay? She'll just have to expose me at this damn point, girl. Cause what? Huh? I guess. Cause she don't deserve that money. She out here like you see her showing up in front of your wife. You see her now talking to your daughter. You've already threatened her and told her you could make this bad for her. And she's still popping up, and you think that you giving her 50 racks is gonna make her just completely stop. No, that's not gonna happen. Like, that's just crazy. Um, But that's what they got going on this past week of the show. Of course, Chelsea finally let Danny know that she's not going to be modeling. She's done with that. I actually think that was a bad move for Danny. I'm sorry for Chelsea. I know that Chelsea does not want to model anymore, but at the same time, I kind of feel like if you're starting your own clothing brand, why not go ahead and get the modeling exposure and let your mother know that, and like just put a timestamp on it. Right? But it was what it was. She said it abruptly, told her mama she not gonna do no more shows or anything like that. And of course, her mom was upset up at first, but then she understood. And she appears to be in a better place because she wants to support her daughter. But at the same time, it's only making her more of a drunk than what she already is. So Danny got some issues. Nicole's trying to talk to her to let Bill go, and she's still stuck on Bill, child. And it's a mess. I do understand why Danny's stuck on Bill, because she gave him so much of her life and it just abruptly ended out of nowhere. So I do get it, but I would like to see her get her strength and for her to move on from that crazed out man. Okay. But that's all I got. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below on how you felt about last week's episode of Beyond the Gates. I'm Jami, that's me, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cash died at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym. High elevated, I could face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over. I'm Invader Zim, on a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel it.